Who sings it?
Fats.
Fats Domino.
Yeah. Well, as opposed to Fats Smith, yeah.
But it's not Fats Dominoes.
No, it's Fats Domino.
It's Fats Domino.
Yeah.
But
Dominoes. Again, if you have to explain it, it's not funny.
Dominoes.
No. Come on. I see no product here. No, we can't do that.
You can choose any medium feast pizza for $10.99.
Although the gluten-free is pretty good, I have to say.
Really?
Yes, it is. Andy McNamara is here from CFL Weekly. Andy, how are you, buddy?
Jim, the only person more shameless than Louie B in plugging is myself, so I appreciate it.
Okay, see ya. It was nice. You got on. You got the product placement, and that's why you're here. Goodbye.
Oh, hey guys, I got some good news for you. I have in my hand an envelope, a stamp, and not one but two Domino's vouchers that I'm going to put in the mail tomorrow personally to make sure it gets to you guys at the studio. How about that?
If you're using one envelope, address it to me because I'll never see it.
Oh, it never got here. What happened?
No, guy.
Yeah. Louie, you're looking a little heavier there. Did Andy send you the pizza voucher? Wow. CFL Weekly, what's on the broadcast tonight?
It's a fun one tonight. We got Farhan Lalji.
Well, wait a minute. We'll let the listeners decide.
Well, that's true. I think it'll be a fun one. Farhan Lalji to really recap the Labor Day weekend and look ahead. Scott Cullen with power rankings and fantasy tips. And then behind the helmet with BC Lions starting quarterback Travis Luley. I chatted with him earlier. This guy is fascinating and hilarious. So even if you're not, and obviously if you're listening to this show, you're probably not a BC Lions fan, but it's worth a listen. He's a good dude.
Now I sat beside Travis Luley at the Grey Cup, and he's a fun chat. Like he is a good talker, and he's definitely a fun guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So it'll be fun. Hey, and really, guys, what we talk about when we talk about on the show is what the heck is going on in the East Division, and all of a sudden you look at the Ticats, they're creeping ever closer to Ottawa. We could be looking for a first place battle here.
And I think, I've been talking about this a lot today and looking at the East Division and Jeremiah Masoli, I would say, has got to be the premier quarterback in the East Division at this point because Trevor Harris, the consistency around Trevor Harris is just, he's basically a roller coaster at this point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought we had seen the end of that because he had put together 2 really good weeks going into the Ottawa bye. And then you come out, you're facing Montreal, you think, all right, easy street, let's pad the stats, get some good statistics on for future contract talks. And then they lay an egg. And that Montreal defense came on strong again for a second straight game. So I'm interested to see out of Trevor Harris, whether they play down to the competition or whatever, when they go to BC to take on the Lions. But the great part about the last few weeks, guys, is that every single game matters. Every single one. Like, there's not one team, maybe, what. No, every team is in it, and every team needs a win. So this is going to be a great week.
Other than that, I'm surprised that you haven't somehow found a way to slip in the Browns' victory over the Lions.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Great Lakes Classic, Jim. They took home the Barge Trophy.
Good. That's the end of your celebrating for the year.
That's all we got. We got a bronze rusted trophy in an exhibition game. So hey, I can't wait for this season to start. This is going to be, Jim, and without exaggeration, probably the most important Browns season opener in 10 years. Because if they lose, all the hype, all the goodwill, all the whatever from Hard Knocks, Tyrod Taylor goes out the window, and Hugh Jackson's still in charge at 1-31, which was very questionable to bring him back. His seat gets immediately scorching hot.
I think the fans will know how to deal with that letdown.
They'll be like, this feeling, yes. Yeah. Darkness, my old friend. There we go. Yeah, that's that feeling I know on Sunday afternoons at 4 o'clock, disappointment, yes.
Well, it usually happens around 1:30, doesn't it?
Heading into the second quarter, you're like,
yeah.
I need another beer.
Andy, are there any for sure's when it comes to the CFL or the NFL season? Is there anything we can say with certainty going into this year? Because, Buffalo making the playoffs last year was a pipe dream, yet they figured out a way to get it done. Like you mentioned, no disrespect to Cleveland, but 1-31 the last 2 years. I don't think anyone's expecting them to kind of replicate that this year. Is there any certainties in the NFL going into this year?
I think there's one, and that's that New England will win the AFC East for the 50th year in a row. I think that's the only thing that is for sure. They will win the division. Other than that, you can point to there are multiple divisions where you can make an argument for a team to finish first and one to finish last, all up and down. AFC South jumped to mind. Titans, Colts, Jags, Texans. with two improved. Deshaun Watson's back, Andrew Luck's back. AFC West, the Raiders are a hot mess. Like, John Gruden is a complete madman. Then you got the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers. You can make an argument any one of them can win the division. The NFC East with Dallas, Giants, Eagles, Redskins. Like, you go up and down this thing, and you can make an argument for almost every division except for the NFC North. Sorry, Jim. That's going to be the Pack.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Well, that's not breaking news, buddy. That's on a loop.
But really, that's what's so interesting about this NFL season is not just individual teams, but in divisions. So much can go and be turned upside down. It's so wide open. This is the most exciting start to an NFL year in some time, in my opinion.
What quarterback coming back from injury do you think has the most potential to bounce back? Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers. I could keep listing quarterbacks, but among those guys, who do you think has the best chance of really bouncing back into what we saw the last time they were playing?
I think Aaron Rodgers for sure, just because he's a 1 or 1A best quarterback in the league, and he's still in his prime. So I think Aaron Rodgers. After that, I'm going to say Deshaun Watson. And again, his durability and longevity, I've never been confident in, but we saw when he was in there last year what he could do. So I don't see any reason why he can't step right back in, along with a healthy J.J. Watt on the defensive side and sometimes offensive side, why he can't really just start up again and go. I don't know if he'll make it the whole season. And then after that, I think Carson Wentz, we'll have to see about the Eagles' Super Bowl hangover. And, boy, I feel for Andrew Luck still. They third overall pick. They went offensive guard. They got Quentin Nelson, who's good. But overall, the running game sucks. The receivers, it's T.Y. Hilton, and that's it. Like, they have wasted a franchise quarterback in Indy. There's no weapons around him still. I don't think the Colts are going to have a great bounce back here at all.
What do you think are reasonable expectations for the Eagles?
I think it's to win the division, really, because when you look at the rest of the division, Cowboys, I know they're everyone loves or hates the star, but that team outside of Zeke Elliott got no weapons. And Terrence Williams, he flashed okay, and Cole Beasley, he's a generously listed 5'8". How long can he go? And you're really going to expect that much out of a late 20s slot guy. So the Eagles, I think, are the most complete to win the division. After that, I'm going Giants in a wild card spot. Eli, Saquon, you finally have a balanced running attack with Odell Beckham Jr. back healthy and happy because he's been paid. So the Giants, I think, are going to push the Eagles, but they're going to be a wild card spot. And then the Redskins, again, haven't surrounded Alex Smith with much. I picture them kind of an 8-8, 9-7 type that just kind of hang around but aren't too exciting.
I mean, in 5.5 months from now, we're going to be talking about Super Bowl 53. Who do you think's got the best chance to make it to that game?
Ooh, oh man! Well, we talked about how wide open this whole thing is. AFC, the leaders in the clubhouse have to still be the Patriots because no one else is reaching up to grab it. The Steelers are probably the next most talented, but the Patriots are their kryptonite. Am I confident the Jaguars are going to be able to challenge them again? No, because that division's better. So I'll say the Patriots in the AFC. NFC, I'll lean towards the Packers. Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? You could say Panthers, you could say Saints, and no one would think that you're crazy. Minnesota, maybe.
Vikings, yep.
But I think
Lions.
The Packers are that good because listen to Aaron Rodgers in the preseason, guys, right? He's calling out his receivers. He expects more. This isn't the same, hey, let's just relax and take it easy. There's an urgency, and maybe last year missing so much time put an urgency to Aaron Rodgers to win another Super Bowl. He's got an edge that I haven't seen out of him. So I'd say watch out for the Pack to get to the big dance again.
Yeah, the Vikings as well. I mean, Case Keenum is now the guy in Denver, but you had a guy like Kirk Cousins, a team that kind of did not play well in the NFC Championship game, but maybe Kirk Cousins could be that guy that leads them to the next level.
Sure. Like for Kirk Cousins, what the Vikings did was, I think, so smart. They didn't get hooked. Case Keenum was a terrible quarterback his entire career, horrible. Has a Cinderella season nobody could have seen coming, and good for him, got paid. But the Vikings said, look, we need to get better, and we're not confident that this guy can replicate it. So you get Kirk Cousins, who's been stuck on average at best Washington Redskins team. I know there's stats out there. He has big numbers, but against teams with 500-plus records, he's not very good. I think that's also a product of the talent around him. There's no excuses for Kirk Cousins now. He's with a great team in Minnesota. You got Dalvin Cook, who's a beast in the backfield back in his sophomore year. Kirk Cousins has every weapon to make it happen. And now we're going to see, okay, is this guy just someone who pads stats? Or with the proper talent pool around him, when the games count, when they're bigger, when they're important opponents, can he do it? We're going to find that out.
TSN 4 Downs, Saturday, 11 a.m. here on TSN 1150. You got this new contest with DraftKings. What's this all about?
Yeah, guys, and you guys can enter too. It does not exclude TSN people.
Finally.
It's your chance to win a share of $1 million. How about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I don't know if you want, huh?
Yeah.
How about that? It's the Team Pick'em on DraftKings.com, and I tweeted out the link at AndyMC81. I have it on Instagram at AndyMCSports. So what you do, it's very easy. There's no players. You pick the teams, and if you pick over half the teams right for week one, you win cash. And the more you win, obviously, the more of the chunk of the $1 million you win. So just go to that link. If you're new to DraftKings and don't have an account, just use promo code Andy. You sign up for free, and off you go.
Really? How did you set that up? That's excellent.
I got my pizza and I got my DraftKings, boys. What can I say?
Yeah.
I'm looking around.
Yeah, I don't see anything here.
Jim would say.
It's in the mail.
I'm looking around. I don't see anything. You got a couple of minutes here before you're done, and if it doesn't show up by that time, we have to close the book.
What is coming up on Saturday's TSN 4 Downs, though, Andy?
Well, we're going to have Cynthia Freeland from NFL Network. She's like the analytics guru. She has models to predict how many games each team is going to win, and also regression and progression for some of the best stars. So we're going to have him. We're going to have Michael Fabiano from NFL Network with some fantasy football tips. He's one of the best in the business. I'll make my live Team Pick'em DraftKings pick for this contest. You can get some, tune in for that, make your own picks along with us. And I'll have a lot of fun with the NFL news and notes. Last week, an hour before we went on to the air, that Khalil Mack trade happened. So that threw the whole show up in the air. It was great.
Hey, thanks a lot, kid.
See you, boys.
All right. Thank you, Andy. I hope that didn't hurt.
A little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Andy McNamara from